Here we go. You guys ready to go to a final tour? I need to change the title of this to Idaho4 Murder House Final Tour because people are interested in this. They want to go on a tour here. And there should be new information, as it's been said, as we go through the different rooms. Matter of fact, again, I want to thank everybody that's still supporting us here, our YouTube channel here. I'd like to thank you all very much. And those of you that have subscribed to our Spotify podcast, go ahead. If you haven't, you can go to our About on YouTube and you can subscribe to it now. Here we go. Electra is in the house. So again, it says 1122 King Road has now been demolished. Here's some live photos of it. We all remember that. It still had the snow on the ground from 3 cars from the victims that were there. And when they, guess what, guys? When they demolished it, there wasn't any tunnels underneath. There wasn't any secret tunnels. Here's a drone photo view of the exterior. We've got photos. Let's make it bigger. The phone line is open if you want to call in as we go through these different rooms and you want to talk about the case. I can see right here why people would say there might have been secret tunnels under this, because you can see the basement and the buildup around the house. See, you can see it right here. But that was just landscaping. There was nothing underneath it. All right, back to the house. Midnight caller line. This is Gerald Schmimmons. Who am I speaking
with?
What
up, Gerald Schmimmons?
What is going on?
Nothing much. This is Boss Macca.
Hey, Boss Mac. Make sure you turn your listening device down so we don't get an echo.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Awesome. I'm glad you called in because I needed somebody to update us. Did I miss anything on the 28th of February hearing other than they plan on having 400 witnesses testify that Brian is an upstanding young citizen?
The thing was old judge. He didn't even know what the cast report was. You know, that's pretty disrespectful to the whole damn court system.
He didn't know what report was again?
The cast report, which pertained, to the cell towers and all that stuff. He thought it was something completely different.
Oh, that is not
that
good.
Was like the most.
That is a big deal, yeah.
Like, but I'm going to keep it brief. You probably know why I'm calling, because it's like, dude, you already know it was first said here that house is going to get tore down.
Yeah,
and that was first said here way before there was even any mention about it. And oddly enough, I've even done like 3D composites of what that neighborhood will look like in the near future after they tear down everything else. I saw like a news conference with the president, what's his name, Homer Scott Green, where he was mentioning that they're going to put low income housing in that area.
We thought it was going to get torn down early on, so I kept a lot of footage of it. We did a street walk through the whole town, and that was going to change. So I still have all that information, and I thought something was going to happen, And then Google Maps went ahead and, they tried to blur out where the house was. What the hell's up with that? Hello, 1984.
Yeah, they make it really tough. Yeah, because when I was doing my composites, I couldn't get close enough to the house to do a proper, like a screenshot to render it. And so I had to do it from a distance, like across from Banfield, and blow up the image. But it still came out, and it looked very similar to what Scott Green's little rendering of it is. It's just big business out here. I could see it from a mile away.
Man. So, again, has your opinion changed of who you think was involved in this?
Nah.
And the cover-up or the prosecution?
Yeah, no, my opinion hasn't really changed. I still feel that the same bad actors are the same bad actors, and I don't really need to mention them. I do feel that Kohlberger's in there voluntarily, and I know that's probably going to be like, oh my gosh, how could you say that? But I really started thinking and doing my research and going back to the George Floyd protest, and like I was shocked that that affected over 2,000 cities. The George Floyd protest did, and we're talking about a person who was trying to pass off a counterfeit 20, and who might have been out there off of this and off of that, and we saw the reaction of that when they found out that police killed that dude. So imagine what the reaction would have been if but I think the dude's taking the fall. He's going to come out with notoriety like Mark Furman, but on steroids, and
do you think maybe
he'll have all kind of deals?
Do you think maybe somebody else did this crime and they contacted Kohlberger because they knew him, they knew of him, they had some kind of affiliation with him, but it would have to be somebody that knew his specific set of skills, whether it's a student he had in class or one of his peers that went through class with him and thought, hey, I'm part of this organization. They're going to commit these murders for whatever reason. And they contact him and he's like, okay, well, we can make it look like me, completely throw them off. And then when we go to trial, there's no way I can be convicted because of this real reason that'll come out when I actually give my alibi. And they hire him and give him money to do this.
Maybe a little bit more nefarious than that, but pretty close.
Yeah. Well, it makes a lot more sense than I just did it because I needed to do something. Because that's what they have so far.
Yeah.
He did it because he did it. Not even.
There's no motive.
No, not even a hint of one yet, other than, not that there needs to be one for someone to commit a crime, but there's not even a hint of a motive. And
no witnesses.
Not really. Just, the stupid thing, like if somebody calls somebody a Nazi, I've stopped listening to the argument. If somebody calls a guy in his 20s an incel and that's why he did something, I stopped listening to what that person has to say. And really, that's all that I've heard leveled at Kohlberger.
Yeah, I don't know him like that to even make that assumption about the dude. All that type of stuff, like I would have to actually know him to know if he's an incel, or these labels that they're putting on him. But just looking at the evidence they've given us, it's like, what truth do I believe? That both of the girls were asleep downstairs and that they didn't see or hear anything? Or that, old girl saw some person with bushy eyebrows that's, what was it? Draped? Not draped. What was it? What's the word? Cloaked in black, or I can't even remember anymore.
Yeah. I see people in the chat room talking about him being, Laura says, please, he's no incel. And Hot Ham is saying, well, there are a lot of incels and a lot of Nazis, but I don't necessarily think BK is. And specifically what I'm talking about are the women that went on, and they were verified later as it being true, went out on a date with him, and she talked about it on TikTok. So that was interesting. I guess that's the thing now.
And I'm always real careful of putting people in boxes and labeling them. It's really tough to call someone that. I'm saying, when you don't really know them. So I just stay away from that. Just that's me personally.
Well, specifically in the new world we're living in, the term, I mean, how do you say it? There's more concrete evidence of someone being an incel. That's when they write a manifesto and they talk about them being an incel and they commit a crime because of it. I mean, that's the specific reference that we have, but it doesn't apply to this case. And then, of course, you got people calling Nazis and political reasons.
Yeah, I'd rather have a person label themselves before I go and label them. If they say that they're an incel, then yeah, I'm going to believe you. Sort of like the Eminem song, I am whatever you say I am. But it's like,
yeah, you got to believe somebody if they say I'm an incel and that's why I did it, because I mean, no one's going to voluntarily say that.
Right.
Like, okay, well,
yeah, but hey, I ain't gonna hold up your line, dude. Looking good with the beard. I'm glad to see you back. I hope you stay consistent with it. Be honest with you, I unsubscribed from every single true crime person out there, and you're the only person I'm still subscribed to. So that hopefully that means something to you.
As long as you're still here, I'll be here.
Hey, man,
thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Sure, bro. You have a good one.
That's something I wanted to talk. I kind of wanted to talk about, but I wasn't, where I've been, what I've been doing. And it just it's not something I like to do, is to talk about illnesses and talk about prolonged illnesses. It's not something I'm going to do. Oh, I'm sorry I was gone. I couldn't breathe. I'm sorry I wasn't here. My lung. I just don't want to keep doing that. I just want to keep giving all that I have when I have it to give. So here we go. So this 3D tour, let's go over this a little bit. Have things changed in here? I saw some brief changes when I went in. We now entered the house. We have a resource page right here of the timelines, photos, mattress removal. Oh, Lord. New videos. Here's photos of the mattresses being removed. I told you there would be new stuff. It looks like no, that's a tree limb. They bagged and tagged the mattresses. It's a horrible thing. All right. Suspect car movements timeline, which is also an important thing. They'll talk about the cells tower. Suspects enters house movements timeline. Let's look at this.
Mates Bethany and Dylan were sleeping on the first floor. Since then, we've learned Dylan was sleeping here on the second floor, along with Xana and Ethan located here. Kaylee and Madison were located here on the third floor. The dog was located on the third floor and the room by itself. Let's move around and see through the walls into the kitchen, to the back slider, and take a look at the time frames. At 4:04 a.m., the suspect can be seen trying to park his car. At 4:09, approximately 5 minutes later, he enters the house through the back slider. At 4:18, he leaves the house after committing the crimes. At 4:20, he's caught on camera driving away at a high rate of speed. All of this only took 9 minutes. Let's watch what that looks like. The suspect enters through the back sliding door. He pauses at the stairs to look around to make sure no one's up. He then turns and goes upstairs. The first bedroom he stops at and opens the door, he sees no one there. He continues to the next bedroom. Here we know what happens. Downstairs, Dylan is sleeping. The noise from upstairs wakes her up. She thinks it's Kaylee playing with her dog. She gets up and goes to the door and looks out. She sees nothing there. The suspect then continues down the stairs about 3 minutes later. He then heads to Xana's room. Outside, there's a security camera picking up some whimpering, cries, and a thud at 4:17. We've learned that Xana was found on the floor, which might explain the thud. Dylan again hears something and looks outside her door. She sees the suspect. He walks right past her and leaves.
All right. What was that? All took place, like 7 minutes? All right, somebody requested that we take a look at the video of the mattress again. Let me try to find that. Photo, sorry. Mattress removal. Okay, here we go. A lot of people said, you know, there's no photos of the bodies being taken out. That doesn't mean they weren't taken out. It means they thought it bad form for the taking out of the bodies to be videoed. Although, with the people that lived there at the time, it's almost hard to believe that, you know, some YouTube random run-of-the-mill smacker jacker didn't take any footage of the bodies being removed and show them. It wouldn't have shown the bodies. It would be a lot like the bagging of the mattresses here. But there's the mattresses. Let's see what else we have. Oh, by the way, guys, as far as doing the show more consistently, I don't plan on stopping. This show's a part of who I am, and it's not going to stop. It really isn't. I really enjoy doing this, so something that's going to continue. Let's see. Also, it will change, though. I'm not going to continually talk about the Idaho4 crime or the case unless I have something to say. As long as I continue to have something to say, you know, I will. One thing I'm going to do a lot more of is do a lot more interviews. So there's a lot more interviews coming up. They will be a lot more interviews. Okay, let's look at this detailed visual timeline real quick from ABC.
On November 13th, 2022, these 4 university students were discovered stabbed in their home in Moscow, Idaho. Local police described the case as very complex, and it took more than 6 weeks for a suspect to be arrested. We pieced together information from a case affidavit released by authorities, verified publicly available evidence, and pulled in ABC News reporting to create a visual timeline outlining significant events in this case. I'm Emmanuel Saliba, a senior reporter with ABC News. It's around 9 p.m. local time on Saturday, November 12th in Moscow, Idaho. According to an affidavit released by authorities, Zana Kernodle and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin are seen hanging out at the Sigma Chi house. It's about a 5-minute walk from their off-campus house on King Road. Zana's roommates Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan are at the Corner Club. It's a historic sports bar in town. They stay at the bar for about 3 hours, according to an affidavit released by authorities. And around 1:30 a.m., Kaylee and Maddie leave the corner bar. The next available images we have of them are in this surveillance footage obtained by ABC News. They're heading towards a local food truck, which is about a 6-minute walk from the bar. Police say this man with them is not a suspect. This is the grub truck. They had been streaming live on Twitch since about 10 p.m. And around 1:41 a.m., we see all 3 of them walk into frame. Maddie and...
You know, we still don't know what she said to Adam, do we?
Kaylee order food.
Have a good night. Bye. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
I would like the carbonara.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
How many more do you need? That's the second one? Awesome.
Dawn's mom.
$10.
Cool. Thank you.
$4.78. Thank you very much.
They wait around for about 10 minutes. Around 1:51 a.m., they grab food from the truck window and walk out of frame. Police confirm that at this point they get picked up by a car service, and about 6 minutes later they arrive at home on King Road. According to an affidavit, Ethan and Zana are already in the house along with 2 other roommates. 2 2:47 a.m. According to police, a phone belonging to the suspect, Brian Koberger, stops connecting to the cell network in nearby Pullman, Washington. This is where he lives and studies criminology as a PhD student at Washington State University. 2:53 a.m. Authorities say a white sedan consistent with a vehicle registered to Koberger is seen traveling towards the highway that connects Pullman and Moscow. It's only about a 10-mile drive between the two cities. At 3:29 a.m., surveillance footage obtained by police from the King Road neighborhood captures a white sedan making an initial drive by the victim's house. Authorities say this car will make another 2 passes in the next 30 minutes. It's 4 a.m. According to the affidavit, Zana receives a DoorDash delivery, and a source tells ABC News that the delivery is contactless and the order is left at the front door. A surviving roommate would later tell authorities that around this time, 4 a.m., she wakes up to what sounds like Kaylee playing with her dog in the room on the 3rd floor. She also reports hearing someone say, "There's someone here." 4:04 a.m., authorities say the white sedan is seen driving into the neighborhood a 4th time. 4:12 a.m., according to phone records obtained by police, Zana is awake and using TikTok. The affidavit states that the same surviving roommate says she hears what sounds like crying coming from Zana's room. She opens her door a second time and says she hears a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At 4:17 a.m., this security camera on a neighbor's home picks up distorted audio of what sounds like voices or a whimper followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times. This camera is less than 50 feet from Zana's bedroom. The affidavit states the surviving roommate then opens her door a 3rd time. She sees a masked man walking past her towards the sliding glass door in the kitchen. In frozen shock, she locks her door. 4:20 a.m., police say the white sedan is seen leaving the neighborhood at a high rate speed. 5:25 a.m., authorities say that same vehicle is seen on 5 cameras back in the Pullman area, near where the suspect lives. And then, between 9:12 and 9:21 a.m., police say data collected shows the suspect's phone appearing near the scene of the murders. About 8 hours after the killings, a 911 call reports an unconscious person at the scene of the crime. Shortly after, Moscow police discover the bodies of 4 students.
The facts of the case that we know right now.
November 16th, police reveal the 4 victims were stabbed to death.
The 4 were stabbed with a knife, but no weapon has been located at this time.
We are eternally grateful that we spent so much time with him.
This is Ethan's mom on November 30th at a vigil honoring her son and the 3 other victims.
That's the most important message that we have for you and your families, is to make sure that you spend as much time as possible with those people, because time is precious and it's something you can't get back.
We're looking for a 2011 to a 2013 Hyundai Elantra.
December 7th, no suspects have been publicly identified, and Moscow police appeal to the public for help.
Any assistance you can give us, anybody that owns one, anybody that knows of someone who owns one or may have been driving one, if you could get a hold of us through our tip line or call us directly, we'd appreciate that.
December 15th, Koberger and his father are driving eastbound on I-70 when they get pulled over by a Hancock County Sheriff's deputy.
Hello. How you doing? How y'all doing today? Good, good. Take a look at your driver's license real quick if I could. See, he's right up on that van, man. He was right up on the back end of that van. So you're coming from Washington State University? And you're going where? Oh.
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're slightly much driving for hours.
Hours, days.
Hours.
They're driving across the country to their family home in Pennsylvania.
Okay. So do me a favor, don't follow too close, okay?
10 minutes later, they are pulled over again, but this time by Indiana State Police. Both departments would later say they had no identifying information on the suspect at the time of these stops or the alleged vehicle involved. The Indiana State Police added in another statement that its agency wasn't directed by the FBI to make the traffic stop. 15 days later, Koberger is arrested in Pennsylvania. The FBI identified the suspect by linking DNA evidence from the crime scene to a public genealogy database. January 3rd, he is extradited back to Idaho, where he is charged with felony burglary and 4 counts of first-degree murder. In a statement, his extradition lawyer in Pennsylvania said his client was eager to be exonerated. The suspect remains in custody, awaiting his next court appearance in June.
All right, that was a really good refresher. Like I said, there's new things in this tour all the time. A detailed visual timeline, suspect car movements timeline, suspect enters house. You want to watch the car movements timeline real quick? I do. What the hell is this?
Hello, this is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. If you could hit that like, share, and subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. This is going to mainly focus in on the description given in the probable cause document of the suspect vehicle and also the DoorDash vehicle that shows up to deliver a meal to Zana Kernodle. That was right around
Zana Kernodle. Oh my God. Like, oh my God.
4 o'clock. It's important to note that Koberger left Pullman at around 2:53, and then he is first seen on camera in Moscow at approximately 3:26. When he was first seen, he was actually seen in a location that is pretty odd. He was seen at 3:26 at 700 Indian Hill Drive, and it's just sort of off on the side, winding street, quite a ways east of the 1122 residence. But all these streets connect in some ways. When you look at it, it looks like he drove up north.
One of the things I did want to say is that there was a recent statement by the family members of the murdered children. I'm trying to remember what family. I think it was Maddie Mogan's mother. I believe it was. When she said that what they want is they don't want any delays. They want this to go ahead and go to trial, let it stand based on the evidence that they have so far. And I thought that was very interesting, and I think that's what all the families want. I know the Gonsalves family has been talking about them wanting it to go to trial now and not delaying it. And they believe that Koberger's guilty, and he is just doing everything he can do to delay his ultimate day in court. That's one theory out there. You have other theories. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it.
On 95, and then possibly turn right on Palusa Drive. Now, in this case, when he drove there the first time...
All right, I'm not going to go over this whole thing. All right, let's continue here with our 3D tour. Tour links, drone photos, gallery of bedroom. Oh, geez. Just of the bedroom and the blood. The bedroom with the blood. We did a lot of work on that blood stain. We found out that it wasn't. Oh, wow. This is new. All right, so you have the outside here. And then you have a 3D cut of the wall. Bed gone. See where the bed was, where the blood would have leaked. Hold on. The bed was right there. And the blood on the other side. See, I haven't seen this before. Lordy. That is haunting. Haunting. Very, very, very haunting. But the house isn't there anymore. So how are you going to be impacted as a jury? The full affidavit. All right, let's go to this tour, guys. How do I get out? Let me out. I'm stuck in here. All right. I got stuck. So we were on this first place right here that had this information in it. Let's go into this first bedroom here. Then again, this is the front door. You walk in the front door, and directly to your right, you have this bedroom. But hold on, because let's look where we're at. All right, you go in through this front door. We're standing right outside. All right. This is a lower level, kind of like a basement type entrance. So that's important to note. Vacant bedroom number 1, they say. These are actual pictures of the bedroom. Very shiny floor. The bed. This image is from Zena Kernodle's Facebook page. It shows a mattress she wanted to sell. It's positioned in the bedroom 1B, 1122 King Road. The headboard is against the window of 1B with the mattress positioned along the west side of the wall room. Picture from Facebook Marketplace. Here's another one. This image is from Zana Kernodle's Facebook page. It shows a makeup desk she wanted to sell. This position in the bedroom. 1B. Photo provided by Ryan Augusta shows the doorknobs in this bedroom in this bottom floor apartment 1B. A lot of pictures, a lot of more info, guys. A lot more info. All right, we're going to go out of this room. First floor hallway. Okay, here's BF Bethany Funk. This was her bedroom, is that right? Was she in this room? Let's see. Confirmed as BF's bedroom. Click. This is a part of the affidavit. 2 of the interviews included BF and DM. Both BF and DM were inside the King Road residence at the time of the homicides and were roommates to the victims. BF's bedroom was located on the east side of the first floor of the King Road residence. Here's a picture. Let's stand here. Out the window. Anybody getting dizzy? Shower room. All right, we're going to go up the stairs now. It's interesting to me how you go up the stairs to...
On November 13, 2022, at approximately 4 p.m., Moscow Police Department Sergeant Blaker and I responded to 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, to assist with scene security and processing of a crime scene associated with 4 homicides. Upon our arrival, the Idaho State Police forensic team was on the scene and was preparing to begin processing the scene. Moscow Police Officer Smith, one of the initial responding officers to the incident, advised he would walk me through the scene.
I'd like to say hello to Lady Lisa. She's here tonight. Okay. Going up the stairs. This is a good refresher for those of us that haven't watched, haven't followed the case in a while. And even if we have, things get mixed up in your head. All right, so this is a view from the couch. See, this is a view that we saw from the TikTok videos, which we're probably going to see here in a minute, of the living room. And this is where they hung out. It's a photo of the living room. Yeah. The roommates pretending to be each other. Remember that video?
God, it smells like dirty dick in here. Murphy, you've been a bad boy. Oh my God, it's 9:10. Guys, can anybody drive me to class? I'm fucking late for my meeting. I'm supposed to be there 10 minutes ago. Did anybody do their chores today? Fuck, I'm just gonna do it. Did you see that right there? Oh, shit, you guys. It's 8. Gotta go. Jake's calling. Oh, Jake's calling. Oh my God, I look horrid. Oh, Murphy, you look so cute. Get out of here. You seriously gotta get out of here. You're fucking stinking this shit out. Hey guys, I know I talk about myself a lot, but like, what would you guys do in my situation? Damn, where are you going? Yeah, I gotta go to the pool. Yeah, I fucking failed 12 already. Is everyone do like a wine night? Like, let's just do a wine night. Yo, is it okay if I have a party? Like, just 3 or 4 people at most.
I remember when we first saw the video. Okay. Let's go over here. The second floor bathroom. View this part at night. Let's do it all. Maybe I shouldn't have. Ugh. I'm going to have to go back now. Not a big deal. Okay, so here we are. Let's go right here. And we don't want to see it at night. All right, this is a second floor bathroom. Here's a demolition photo, something we didn't have before. So this comparison. You're seeing a little bit of the demo photo, and you're seeing this from Zillow. This is a second floor bathroom next to Xana's bedroom. Not getting a lot from that picture, but it's still there. All right, bathroom. Xana was found on the floor of bedroom 2B. Affidavit. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Kernodle's, laying on the floor. Kernodle was deceased with wounds which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Okay, just stuffed us in a corner here. Xana was found on the floor of bedroom 2B. Ethan was found in an unknown position and location in bedroom 2B. This is a wall where a red substance is seen trickling down the foundation at the rear of the house. Again, here's the gallery that we looked at earlier. The red trickling substance. This was Xana and Ethan. And you can see the 3D cutaway. You can see the 3D cutaway and the stains below it, right there, below the headboard. So we're led to believe that it was Ethan's blood that was going down that wall. And you can see the substrate and the foundation right here. And then you can see the picture outside. Very haunting, the way all this is put together. Very haunting, and here we are. Confirmed to be Xana Kernodle's bedroom. Ethan and Xana were found in this room.
Officer Smith and I entered the King Road residence through the bottom floor door on the north side of the building. Officer Smith and I then walked upstairs to the second floor. Officer Smith directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned, through Xana's driver's license and other personal belongings found in the room, was Xana Kernodle's room. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Kernodle's, laying on the floor. Kernodle was deceased with wounds which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Also in the room was a male, later identified as Ethan Chapin. Chapin was also deceased with wounds later determined to be caused by sharp force injuries.
Continuing the tour here, and we're going to click everything because there's new information added all the time. Every time I go on this tour with you guys, and I plan on this being the last one, by the way, every time I do, they add new things to it, and I learn a little bit more. For example, the blood going down the wall and the way they presented it, we didn't have last time. And one of the first times we went through, it didn't have all the different, it didn't have who lived in what bedroom. We had to talk about it, and I had to point it out, and I got it. I knew it, but I got it mixed up when I said it. And now it's easier. It's an easier tour to go on as far as how everything is labeled, but it is not easier in the fact that this is a horrific crime. It's horrible. It's startling. And the emotions I feel, it's not, I can't say the emotions don't change because they do, but it seems like you get more angry. And I feel different ways. If he is guilty, which he hasn't gone to trial, we don't know. For the little evidence we do have, there's a lot of evidence we don't have. Whether he's guilty or innocent, we don't know. We don't know the degree of the depravity if he is guilty. So I can't say I'm not getting more angry. Man, as this continues, I agree with the victim family member statement about it needing to go to trial and not delaying it. And there's no way in hell, I think there's 400 people that they're going to call. Maybe there is. From the things I've heard, third, fourth hand, it seems like Brian Kohlberger himself could be very litigious. And especially if your life is on the line, right? He's going to make them work if they're going to take his life, regardless of how the prosecution might be inconvenienced about it. He's going to make this cost the state as much as he possibly can, and he would know what would be the most expensive things to do, him and Taylor. So you're going to be able to tell whether he did it or not with little things I like to call bullshit. So 400 witnesses, if the witnesses the defense calls actually have validity, actually have meat, so I saw him at this time, or if it doesn't add anything at all, then it's bullshit just to drag it out, just to make it cost them more to put him away. Or perhaps he thinks the more he can do to cost the state money, and this very well might be true, the more he does to cost the state money, if he's guilty, then the more likely they are to say, hey, let's just, if you say you're guilty, we'll drop it to man 2 or man 1. If you give us every detail, if not, we're going to seek the death penalty. And they might drop it down to life. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get a deal. This could be a method for that. We don't know. But these are the things we're going to look at going forward in this. Let's continue the tour here. Again, the phone number is live, 325-261-0892. I'd be more than glad to talk to you about this. And after this, we have some other things we're going to talk about. This is Dylan Mortson's room. Why is this important? Well, this is where she says she saw the bushy eyebrowed man and perhaps his naked ass running out the door over here. I don't know. The naked man? And there was a latent shoe print location. And let's talk about that shoe print because it was not found to be the murderer. It was found to be an EMT. They found no prints from the murderer or a print they couldn't identify. That's a fact. So we need to talk about that. Not saying she didn't see a man with bushy eyebrows here. All right, so let's click on this and go more over the bushy eyebrows, right? Let's go into her room. We're facing the wall. We're in her room.
DM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. DM stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Goncalves playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor. A short time later, DM said she heard who she thought was Goncalves say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Kernodle's phone showed this could also have been Kernodle, as her cellular phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12 a.m. DM stated she looked out of her bedroom but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. DM states she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Kernodle's room. DM then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located at 1112 King Road, a residence immediately to the northwest of 1122 King Road, picked up distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times starting at 4:17 a.m. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall of Kernodle's bedroom. DM said she opened her door for the third time after she heard the crying, and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose, walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5 feet 10 inches or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. The combination of DM's statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from BF and DM's phone, and video of a suspect video as described below, leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m.
4 and 4:25 a.m. This is a view at looking out of her window at night. Oh, my Lordy, I'm stuck. Stuck in night view. Whose room were we in? Xana. It made us go all the way down? No. Hold on. Okay, so you go right out of the kitchen. You go right out of the living room. And you have the kitchen. And you have DM's room, okay? So we have three levels to the south. Confirmed intruder's path of travel to exit point. The male walks towards a black sliding glass door. DM locked herself in a room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. We are now in the kitchen. And we got a lot of pictures of it. Let's look. DM and BF both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were home by 2 a.m. and asleep, or at least in their rooms, by approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Kernodle, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. This crime scene photo shows a DoorDash order near the kitchen sink with Xana's name, but it may not be the actual order she received on the night of the events. But it may be. Here is a broader picture of the kitchen, which no longer exists because they tore it down. Here's another picture of the breakfast nook, if you will. Confirmed intruder's entry exit point. All right, we've already gone over that. Kitchen patio. Let's look at that. This would have been a great party house. It really would have been. Look, you got your kitchen. You can barbecue out here. They even had a couch out there. I mean, come on. Of course, you can't make any noise because people that don't like you are going to call the police. College politics. Especially if they weren't invited. Up to third floor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now on the third floor, and we're going to click all the information we have. Affidavit text.
I then followed Officer Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined.
Let's try that again.
I then followed Officer Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Goncalves' room. I later learned, from a review of Officer Nuna's body camera, there was a dog in the room when Moscow police officers initially responded. The dog belonged to Goncalves and her ex-boyfriend Jack Duker. I found out from my interview with Jack Duker on November 13, 2022, that he and Goncalves shared the dog. Officer Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the third floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor.
Jack Duker, that's right. I'm trying to find something for you guys real quick. Jack Ducor is how it's supposed to be said. Ducor. It's kind of like Dumas. It's not dumbass and it's not Duker. All right. Before we continue, I want to make sure that you guys have access to become a member if you want to be a member. I want to take this video that we're making tonight and put it for members only. Not because I want to make it exclusive membership content, just because I want to keep it out of the way. Everything that's not the 3D tour, I kind of want to have it separated because people come to YouTube and they want to see a quick video of something. They want the 3D tour. They don't want everything we talk about. There's 2 ways to do YouTube, and that is just to have videos to present something, and one of the other ways is just having lives. And often the people who want to watch one don't want to watch the other. So if I put this for membership only, you know why. So let's continue this tour right here. I mean, the tour will be available, but there's other things, there's other crimes I want to talk about after this. All right, so here we are. We're on the 3rd level, and here's picture right here. This is the look the view you would have received. Kaylee's room, stand here. We're about to go into the rooms. Don't worry about that. And there's this, stand here. There's a picture. Let's look at the photo we already did. All right. Let's go in the bathroom real quick. Oh, this is like eerie. And again, they didn't find anything in the drains, supposedly. They didn't find anything in the drains relating to the murder. Okay, here we go. Let's go into Maddie's room. Although this is not where a murder took place. Right? Maddie Mogan's 3rd floor window, her boots, her pink boots. I'm saying boots like a Texan, boots. Those are her boots. Her chair. Her sitting in her chair. She looked so happy, didn't she? Full of life and happy. And there's her boots from inside the window. Oh, that's right. This is where the knife sheath was found. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Maddie's right side when viewed from the door. The sheath was later processed and had K-Bar, USMC, and the United States Marine Corps Eagle, Globe, and Anchor insignia stamped on the inside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA suspect profile left on the button snap. On the button snap of the DNA. Again, this is not blood. This is not semen. This was just epithelial cells sloughed off in the finger, oil and sweat from a touch on the knife sheath. They don't have any fingerprints in the house, which usually means somebody was real careful. Somebody had gloves, but yet on the knife sheath, they found something. And this is all that they found, and this is all they used to link it to Kohlberger's, first his father. His father's garbage had some DNA, and they linked it to the father, which linked it to Brian.
As I entered this bedroom, I could see two females in the single bed in the room. Both Goncalves and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side, when viewed from the door. The sheath was later processed and had K-Bar, USMC, and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA, left on the button snap of the knife sheath.
Coop, I'm stoked that I just saw Coop 3000 show up. Now the only person that hasn't dropped in is Susan. Maybe she will, but I won't hold my breath. I thought that earlier. I'm like, I hope Coop shows up tonight. We're just going over. We're going over the 3D tour again. For me, I think it's going to be the last time. I don't want to look at this again. There is new information presented in this, and there's the old information presented again. So I wanted to go over it one final time. Two in one bed. This was Maddie Mogan's room, and Maddie and Kaylee were both found on the bed in this bedroom. You remember Kaylee's father talked about her being against the wall. She was against the wall. She couldn't move. So I don't know where the murder would have been in this area. I don't know. If she was on the right side or the left side, she was against that wall or not. Horrible, horrible. All right, going out of this room, and there's the bathroom. There's that room. There's another room right here. Kaylee's room. Murphy the dog was in this room during the murders. I then followed Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of two bedrooms and one bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Goncalves, hereafter Goncalves' room. I later learned from the review of Officer Nuno's body camera there was a dog in the room when Moscow police officers initially responded. The dog belonged to Goncalves and her ex-boyfriend, Jack Ducor. I found out from my interview with Jack Ducor on November 13th, 2022, that he and Goncalves shared the dog. Murphy the Labradoodle. I wonder how he's doing now. This is the one that had a balcony. Man, wouldn't it be cool to have a bedroom with a balcony? I think so. What is this? Small access door to crawl space. Oh, they've added that. I can't tell what I'm looking at. A roof crawl space hatch is seen under the window of Kaylee's room, seen here below the demolition digger's hydraulic arm. I see it there in the middle. The roof crawl space had it. So now we learned something new. Small access door to crawl space of roof's apex over lower floors. Wow. So there was a secret place, a secret compartment. Y'all are trying to get Susan. Every time you say Susan, okay. For those that stayed in, you found something new. Looking at these pictures, I want to see a picture. There's the balcony. I want to see a picture of the inside. I want to see a picture. I actually want to see the door access to the crawl space from right here, but I guess you can't, so that's fine. That is it, everybody. And then the murderer, you know, the murders were, Boss Mac and I talked about this way in the beginning about how long you would have had to commit the murders. And this is going to be one of the major issues you're going to hear. Huge, and that is the time it took, and it's like down to like 12 minutes is what it would have took. So there's a latent footprint. During the process of a crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the secondary processing of the crime scene by the ISP forensics team by first using a presumptive blood test and then immunoblack, a blood stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of a Vans-type shoe just outside the door of DM's bedroom, located on the second floor. This is consistent with DM's statement regarding the suspect's travel path. But let me tell you this, they found out that belonged to one of the ambulance, the EMTs. So there's an update for you if you haven't heard that. They had no shoe print from any of Brian's shoes. All right, so right out this door. The male walks toward the back sliding glass door. Diem locked herself in her room after seeing the male. Diem did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene.